So my name is Bobby, and I'm currently studying at the Australian National University, doing a double degree in economics and international security. I've been really heavily involved in engagement with the Asia Pacific, having worked previously with the Australian Chamber of Commerce in Beijing. So what I'm really passionate about is connecting local Australian producers and farmers with the greater markets of the Asia Pacific.
Wow, cool, thank you. And can you share something interesting you heard this morning in the plenary talk about how innovation is advancing the future of agriculture, or about the Asia Pacific region?
Yeah, so what I think I found really interesting was like the huge potential for synergies between Australia and New Zealand, and actually how well New Zealand's actually doing as an agriculture tech. All their industry is very united, and as a united sector, they actually have a lot of power and a lot of influence internationally in that space. So I think like that kind of potential to explore synergies between Australia and New Zealand and the agri-tech sector has a lot of potential.
Cool. Why is agri-tech interesting to you?
Right. Yeah, I think agri-tech is really interesting to me just because of the huge impact it has on the future of the region. So if you think about like the growth of the region, especially the population and also the economics of the Asia Pacific region in the future, like 2030, 2050, it's going to be one of the most dynamic regions of the world. That's going to be, filled by huge populations that's going to be needing food. And just being as part of Asia Pacific, actually Australia has a lot to gain by being geographically close as well as culturally close to the Asia Pacific. So that's where my interest comes in.
Awesome. So how do you see Evoke Ag adding to your knowledge of agri-food and tech?
Yeah, so I'm really just starting out in this field because I think normally as a university student you don't have that opportunity to really find out about agriculture, but just being here and talking with different people has really broadened my scope of knowledge as well as the networks that I'm making. I just met this lady who was trying to start up seaweed industry in Australia and trying to promote like high value seaweed growth in Australian oceans. So that was really interesting, and I think that's an example of how like these networks can actually benefit people like myself.
And also lastly, what is your career aspirations in this field, and what do you hope to contribute?
Yeah, so actually I'm also hoping to be like a startup founder of these kind of startups that are featured at this conference. So just by being here, like connecting with investors, connecting with people who are already in the industry, it's a great experience and a great way for me to start on this journey about starting my own startup.